There is one question in the chat there, Maureen. Katrina asked, does Emer's research still influence her teaching?
Hello, yes. So I've actually only been out teaching for 3 years. This is my third year out. So I started it in my first year out third class. I did it again in my second year out third class, and I have fourth class this year. And yes, it very much does. And I'm trying to do a little bit of research now on giving them mock note topics that we've done like a good while ago. So in my research, what I did for my action research last year, it was topics we've been doing in the past fortnight. Now I'm kind of going back. So I kind of, at the moment with my class, we're reviewing topics we've done in September. I'm trying to see if they remember the information as much. So I'm still very much doing the research on it. And there's so much more scope as well. Like I've only had 9 to 11-year-olds in my teaching career. So at some stage, I'd like to go up and work with the older children, see how it could be adapted, and bringing it right back down to the younger children. Could Mocknut be adapted for the younger ages if it was more use of visuals? So yes, very much still using it in my practice and researching it as well because it's very fresh.
That's great, Eimear. Thank you. Anybody else with any other questions or comments, thoughts?
I just see one there on timing. Is there any way we can integrate it into our class time? Timing can be a big struggle, especially in secondary school. Yeah, 100%. And that's why I'm like, we're so stuck. We already have all our subjects and we're stuck to already fulfill that. And that's why I feel like the big word I'm using is integration. It's integrating subjects. So in primary school, you could have 7 groups, one reflecting on the science, one reflecting on geography, one Irish, one English, one maths. It's also a form of assessment. You are assessing them, but they're also self-assessing, and also an integration of their principles and competencies as well. I think the person who asked me this though was based in secondary school. I mean, in secondary school, let's say you're teaching science, you could have one group reflecting on, oh, here I go now with my science topics, enzymes. One group teaching on something else. You could still do it, but within a subject area. But yeah, I know the school day can be very, very tough to fit everything in. But I only did Machnav every fortnight on a Friday to review that we had been doing in the previous.
Great. Thank you, Eimear. Jack, I see you have your hand up, Jack.
Yeah, it's just a quick response. Eimear, as I look and I felt your embodied energy being expressed through this visual, okay? Now, I would just encourage you to include that kind of data, the digital visual data of you expressing that energy in practice. It's very powerful, and it also carries meanings and values that I think, will literally inspire your audience, just as you have done tonight. But I would encourage you just to include those qualities into your account, okay?
Yes, 100%. And I had 2 critical friends and I chose them wisely because you want somebody who's going to be honest, but also helpful, that will give constructive, I won't say criticism, but constructive help. Because I think as a teacher researcher, you get so caught up. I wanted certain results. I'm not going to lie. You want things you have an idea of how they're going to turn out. And when you get something like that data that completely flipped everything I wanted, I went into complete rut and I was like, well, what's the point in doing it if my high achieving children don't find value in it? And if I hadn't consulted my critical friend, then I don't know what I would have done. Really, she really did help me see it in a positive light. And I was a critical friend for one of the girls in the masters as well. And I found that it really helped me to look at somebody else's work and see what struggles she was having as well. But I do find that having at least one critical friend was very vital because you can get so honed in on your research and have such expectations that might change. You need somebody else there to help you deal with that. I mean, from the outset, when we sit in that circle and we introduce a new topic, I always said to the children, okay, guys, we're synthesizing. And it was like a little rap, what we know plus new info. So tell me what you know about the famine already before I start teaching you, because there's bound to be a nugget of information within one of the children in your class before you begin. And you want to give them that opportunity to let you know that they know it. Then you can teach them new things. Then you can link it in with other methodologies and fill it in on that flip chart piece of paper. And a big thing I wanted them to know is that they can teach in whatever way they want. It started off that they had to say sentences, but by the end, I had children drawing pictures and I explained in their picture, like, oh, this is the first form of transport. As you can see, it has this, this, this. So very much kind of kind of a UDL sense that you can reflect in whatever way suits you to kind of, and it would probably also benefit the children in your audience as well. I hope that answers the question.
Thanks a million, Eimear. That's fantastic. There's a couple of more questions here if you're happy for me to keep.
Yeah, I know there's a and if the time runs out, I can always answer them in the chat while people are presenting or anything, but I'm happy enough that I think I've answered them okay so far. We keep going.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. How did you create your groups? A question from Claudia. Was it based on ability or was it mixed ability in each group?
Yeah, I very much did mixed ability. I did mixed ability to start, and because I wanted them to, the higher kind of achieving kids, to help those children who were struggling. I did do one mock nuff session, I remember, where I deliberately put the children who were kind of the controlling ones, the leaders, I put them all together.
Mm.
I wanted them to see what it was like to deal with other kind of, leaders. And yes, there was disagreements. And I did not step in because I thought that's a lifelong skill. Like, you have to deal, like when you go into the workplace, you will have to deal with people who you're gonna have conflict with. And I know I was teaching them the skills and how to deal with that, but it still will come up in life. So no, I stood back and let them at it. But it started off mixed ability, and then it's nice to test out, give them a go at doing it with their friends. They mightn't even like actually presenting and doing that work with their friends. So it would be nice to mix it up and give your group chances to work with everybody, because again, in life they will need that.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. And just one more question here from Martin. Are you the one teacher in your school who uses this strategy, or are there more teachers? Or are you one of a number?
Yeah, so a big school. It's a senior national school, so 3rd class to 6th class, and we have 6 third classes, 6 4th classes, 6 5th, and 6 6th. So over 600 kids, and I was very much promoting it with the 3rd class teachers while I was in 3rd class, because I didn't want to go spreading it out into the 6th class teachers, because I hadn't done research. I didn't know how effective it would be. Now, I'm sure there would be teachers who'd be willing to take it on board and try it, but for the last year and this year, when I was doing my research, it was mostly the 3rd class teachers I was working with. But I mean, I'm sure that a lot of 6th class teachers would have been happy to give it a go at their class too, but I'm sure a few things might have had to be changed around.
That's fantastic. It's wonderful that you got the chance to share that practice with your school. That's super. Eimear, thanks a million on behalf of all of us listening. That was so insightful, and I'm sure we'll all be crossing paths more on this teaching strategy. Thank you.
Thanks very much, everybody. Thank you.
Fantastic, Eimear.